All right, guys, welcome back. Episode number 5 of the Buffalo Bridal Podcast. Heather, Molly, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
Well, I am fantastic.
Wonderful.
We are back today, and we have Katie from Be Wild Charcuterie. Katie, how are you?
I'm great today. How are you?
Well, fantastic. Ready to get into this?
I am.
All right. So tell us, what is Bored to Be Wild?
Oh gosh, what isn't Bored to Be Wild? I think is a better question, right?
And what a great name.
Thank you,
By
by
the
the
way.
way.
really it
What a
is.
fun name.
You know what? My business partner and I, my good friend Kara Curry is my co-owner. So she and I own this business that is just coming up to 1 year old. By the way,
Aw.
Congratulations.
thank you on the
Congratulations.
1 year
Amazing.
anniversary in March. We, decided that we were pretty cool people. It's
Sure.
pretty self-determined.
Love
Nobody
it.
voted or anything. It was not an election or
That's
anything
okay.
like that.
I just
We
met you, and I
decided.
agree.
Yeah,
Well, thank
we're
you.
in.
You're welcome.
So we thought we were pretty cool. And, we decided Bored to Be Wild was much more fun than the original title. Does anyone want to know what the original
Yes.
was?
We have to now.
Food for thought.
Oh.
Boring.
I really like the
The Bored to Be Wild.
Yes,
Yeah.
because after a while it kind of evolved into, what we really wanted our mantra to be in this business. So Bored to Be Wild is charcuterie. Okay, a lot of people in this country cannot even pronounce charcuterie.
Yep.
Well,
And
spell
my mom can never
Okay,
ever say
yeah.
it.
It's been called many things. I can't even begin to pronounce it wrong now that I've learned how to pronounce it right. So, it's tough stuff. But, we got into it. Well, let me a little bit of background. Kara and I have known each other, I think it's about 17 years now. She actually hired me in our corporate lives back in 2007. So she was my boss for a long time.
Nice.
And then I must have done something right
Sure.
because she wanted to go into business with me. So I mean, okay, it sounds good. But in any case, charcuterie is kind of an interesting business. A lot of people know how to do it, and a lot of people don't know how to do it. So we decided, how cool would it be to get into something like this? Because one day, I'll tell you a little bit of backstory if you don't mind.
Sure.
So,
Oh yeah.
if you don't mind if I talk.
Go for it.
Please, this
Let's
is what
go.
a
That's
podcast
what we're
is
here
I'm going to
for,
sit back
right?
and let you
Just
do all
sit
the
back.
talking.
I'll take it over. No worries.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I got
relax.
it. Okay.
I want to hear the story.
So the story is this. So a little over a year ago, right, because we're in business a year, Kara and I were texting back and forth. At that time, we were not working together because we had parted ways, but still remained friends. And we were texting each other and griping about work, because who doesn't gripe about work to one of your friends? And I had a terrible day, and this was terrible, and that one looked at me wrong, and that one sent me a nastygram, and da-da-da-da-da, right? So this is terrible and everything. So I jokingly, and I will hold true to this, that it was a joke. JK, LOL, I'm not serious.
Smiley face emoji.
Any emoji you
Yes,
could think of
sure.
after that comment was, we are pretty fun people. We should go into the entertainment business. That was all it took, okay? And we were like, haha, joking, talk to you later. So fast forward a week and a half, and I get an invitation from Kara and says, why don't you come over to our house? We're going to have cocktails and play some board games. Bring your husband. It'll be fun. Like, sure. Yeah, we're there. So we get there, we walk in, and in her living room, amongst some cocktails, of course, is a PowerPoint up on her television.
Wow, this
Wow.
sounds
The
like
living
me.
room.
It sounds like me, the
PowerPoint.
business plan written and like.
She had a business plan written.
Oh my god, I think I
Okay.
should be friends with her too.
She's super cool. She's super cool. Wish you could be here with me. Hi,
Right?
Kara.
I'm just gonna throw business ideas at her and be like, hey, put this
Right?
together. Let's
Okay,
go.
so the laptop was cracked open. It was hooked up, to the television, and we sat there, cocktail in hand, and all of us in the living room. And she spelled out the business plan for what is now Bored to Be Wild. Then it was called Food for Thought.
Sure.
Got it.
And
I
that
like
title
that.
was
You
terrible.
gotta start somewhere, right?
It
You
was
just
terrible.
put it out
Actually,
there.
one of the ideas was cranberry. We're like, what does that mean? Anyway, we threw it out the door. Bored to Be Wild was born. And we looked at each other, and I said, I don't even know what charcuterie is. And she's like, well, I do. So we got that box checked. We're good. Because Kara's known for hosting very elaborate parties at her house, which we've attended. Themed, the spread in her kitchen of food was phenomenal. The whole kitchen island, everything, and it was on theme. Like, whatever, if it was a Halloween party or something, it was absolutely over the top, and little like nods to this and inside jokes there, and oh my gosh, I can't believe she put that on there, and things that were really cool. So I said, this is what you want to do? She goes, this is what I want to do, but I need your help. So I'll help you, no problem. You got to teach me how to do this stuff, but I'm happy to help. So it turned into that. And I really thought we were just going to go play Cranium. Okay, I was really excited. I mean, are we gonna get to cranium? Because I'm gonna kick butt on that.
Sure.
So can we go to that?
I
And
love
she's like,
that.
all right, fine. All right. So that's where it was born. And then, we thought the title of the company was kind of really what we wanted to do and why we were griping about work one day, and then the next day, we're going into business
It was
together.
PowerPoint.
With the PowerPoint,
Yes.
how ironic, is the fact that we just were like, you know what, corporate life stinks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what we were complaining to each other about at that point. And we said, let's do something where we could just be our own bosses and march to the beat of our own drummer and do our own thing and be wild about it. And we're like, oh, born to be wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's where we're at. So, we just wanted to get away from the corporate politics and the bureaucracy and the everything. The core values and mission statements. Like this boring.
Wait, a core value and a mission statement wasn't on the PowerPoint?
Certainly
Oh,
not.
I love that.
Which is why I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good
Let's
PowerPoint
do
right
this.
there.
Let's do that. It'll be super fun. So, that's really where we are. And charcuterie is fancy. You know what I mean? I think about it and what I knew of it, and when you see it in pictures, and you see it at the weddings, and you see it everywhere else, it's super fancy stuff, in which we're happy to oblige. Okay, don't get me wrong, but we'd rather do the fun, cool stuff.
Mhm.
So that's really where we began and what we love to do.
Awesome.
I love it.
That's so fun. I love the PowerPoint. Like the fact that you went over there thinking it was just gonna be a hangout and there's a PowerPoint on the screen.
We did, and we won it. Like she and I won at Cranium too.
Oh, perfect.
Well, there you go. There you go.
We beat our husbands in that, so we're having a good time.
Perfect. So you said that charcuterie can be fancy,
Yeah,
but it doesn't have to be.
it doesn't have to.
So talk about what could it be? Like if it's not this fancy display, how do you kind of switch it up?
So we take the fancy out of it
Okay.
by really finding out what our client, what their personality is. Okay, is it going to look beautiful and artistic? Check the boxes.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we want it to be personal. So if you have a cool theme to an event you're having, tell us all about it. I want to know what colors are involved. I want to know somebody's personality. I want to know, inside jokes that we can put little things in there like, oh my gosh, you can't believe, we want things that will surprise and delight. If it's meaningful, unique, and memorable, we're on it. We really want, food's a conversation piece.
100%. And you want to be talking about it afterwards too. You want to be like,
Yeah.
oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and think about it. Like, how many times do you see a table with that stuff, and you're like, well, I saw this, but did you see that? Like,
Yeah.
when you're talking about it, and you all catch something different
It's
when you're
so
looking
fun.
at it.
And then you could try different stuff that you normally
Yeah.
have in front of you because there's so many options.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we want it to be something that's going to bring people together. They're going to laugh about it because we want the funness and that to kind of get through in our products. And we don't want it to be so stuffy, because that's the whole point of our company, is the fact that we don't want to be, buttoned up and stuffy and boring.
So
right?
when you when a client reaches out to you, like what is like the process? Do you have like a consultation to kind of go through
Yeah.
all the details and everything like
Yeah.
that?
It's funny though, because a lot of folks just don't quite, they get maybe just a little conservative. They don't know that we can do the wild stuff, or they don't really know how wild we can get. So they're like, oh, can we just have meats and cheese and fruits and veggies? They're like, sure, what else? They're like, so we're like, okay, what's the event like? Where is it going to be held? What are you celebrating? Tell us a little bit more about the guests of honor. What can we do to really make it stand out? And they're like, the oohs and ahs. That's our best part when we deliver
that'd be
something,
super cool.
and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you thought of putting this on there or that on there, or I can't believe you did that. And that's a little high for us.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
We love
Yeah.
that
You
part.
always
Like,
have certain parts of that
that
being in your
wow.
own business. Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, that's it. I mean, I just want people to understand that, you want the traditional stuff. Absolutely. We've got it down, the beautiful things for, high classy, weddings and other things. But, if you're doing an indie wedding, okay, those are people that I'm speaking for you, Heather. Okay.
Go for it.
But it's probably people that have a little bit of a wild side.
I love it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Even if it's just a smidge.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
I mean, for my own baby shower, I wanted it was my second child, and so I didn't actually want a baby shower, but my mother told me I had to have one. And so I was like, okay, well, if I have to have a thing, then I just want charcuterie. And I just want the dining room table to be covered in anything that is appropriate for a pregnant person to eat. And
Mhm.
I just sat there and I was the happiest, biggest version of myself. And everybody just came to me and ate off this beautiful table. And there was something for everybody. And there, to your point, like there were traditional like meats and cheeses, but there were all these other components of it that people walked away and like, oh, that was actually really good. I didn't expect that to be there, you know?
Yes.
What are some of the other kind of foods that you incorporate on like a charcuterie presentation?
We put potato chips on there.
I love that.
Potato chips?
Like
Cool.
Pringles.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
go
I
look
love
at the
that.
Instagram. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, check
What
out our
you
I'm
see
gonna have
Instagram.
to check it out.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to.
What is
Yeah.
the Instagram real quick while we're on
It
that
is
topic?
at Bored to Be Wild 24.
Okay.
2-4.
24.
I love that.
Yeah, so check out the Instagram. Our website has a bunch too. If you go to boredtobewild.com, the Gallery of Inspiration,
Ooh.
you'll see the carousel of boards that we've done. And I think, you know, pretty much any, like we've done dessert ones, like just all candies and chocolate, you know, dipped strawberries. And, you know, if you have a favorite candy or sweet in your life, then, you know, by all means, we'll
I
put
love
it
it.
on there,
Put it on
you
there.
know? And who's to say you can't put that stuff on a regular meat and cheese board too? Like,
Yeah,
again,
Right.
our number one rule, Molly, there are no rules.
I was gonna say there really aren't with charcuterie, right? You can
I love that.
pretty
There are
much
no
put
rules.
everything
So I
out.
think that's why charcuterie is such a cool
Mhm.
option for bridal showers, for engagement, for cocktail hour, or I mean, my friend got married not too long ago, and that was the food.
Nice.
It was just but it was everything you could imagine, and
Yeah.
everyone was so happy, and they left
Yep.
so full.
Yep.
And it was unexpected, and it was
Mhm.
delicious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
I
Fun.
mean, yeah. And if you need us to get, you know, R-rated,
Ooh.
Go for it.
Heyo.
I gotta leave
Whatever
that.
it
That's getting a
is,
little too crazy.
you know,
for me.
Excuse us, Ron. We need to
Yeah,
talk about
so-
what's going on here.
Listen, I've seen my share of inflatable unicorns.
Sure. Sure.
you know, we'll accommodate.
Yes.
We'll make it happen. So, but yeah, that's really, we just want to be, you know, different. You know, there's plenty of very reputable businesses out there that do absolutely gorgeous work with charcuterie. Don't get me wrong. We value that there is a community of charcuterie artists out there, and we learn from each other and support each other. But you know, our jobs are just to be a little one-off.
Sure. That's
And
cool.
you know, and back in the PowerPoint, there was some market research done too, by the way. I have to
Oh,
add
hey.
that
Well, there
piece
has
of
to be.
it.
If it's
There
a
has
business
to be,
plan,
yeah.
Market
you
research
gotta
was
have it on
done, and that's why we chose Clarence, New York, as our home base. But yeah, so lots of fun things going on with that. Love it. Can't have a better time.
Awesome.
So if someone wanted to like learn how to do this, do you offer like classes and workshops?
I adore the classes. You'd be surprised. I actually am fine standing up in front of a crowd, even though I'm a little like, ooh, what's going on? First podcast. By the way, everyone listening, first podcast for me ever.
Woo.
So I'm really excited.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. But we love doing classes. So we thought, you know, not everybody's our customer. Okay.
Right.
And a lot of folks are, you know, do it at home type of people. I'll try it myself. Cheese and crackers. You know, if you've ever put Ritz crackers on a plate and put some cheese cubes next to it, you know, charcuterie artist, done. Okay.
That's my dinner most nights.
Listen,
of the
that's a
week.
girl dinner,
Yeah.
right?
Wow,
Give me a
I didn't
glass
know
of
that was
wine
a real
and I'm-
thing.
That's a
That's
real
my
thing.
wife to
No,
a
it's
T.
a real
Okay.
thing. I put those children to bed. And
I
that's
just like cheese.
me time.
It doesn't have to be fancy.
That's me time right there.
That is.
Yeah.
That is a plate. We thought, okay, well, let's teach folks how to do what we do, and we found that it was super fun. You know, our first class, we're like, oh, are they gonna, you know, be receptive, and are they gonna care, and whatever. But you know, we found that if we are easygoing and helpful and showing them super cool, like professional tricks. I call them tricks, but we learned them on Instagram.
Well,
Okay,
hey,
so-
gotta learn somewhere.
You got to learn somewhere. But you know, if we show them all these cool professional-looking techniques, put it that way too, then they come away going, "I could do this at home," and there's this new sense of pride, and they walk away. Everyone in our classes gets to take home exactly what they make. So what they create is usually a board or tray that serves, I'd say, 4 to 6 people roughly. Okay, for each person.
That's a lot.
So sometimes they'll join a class right before a major holiday or a big event, and they'll just take it to that party or have it at their house
that's
or
a good
something.
idea.
Right?
Yeah.
So
And they
anything-
walk in
They're like,
like,
"Oh."
I made this. Look at how
Aw.
talented I am.
Right?
That's what I would do.
So, and it's like, look at, once it walks away from me, you can say whatever you'd like about it. I don't care. But we have such a blast doing it. We put on some music and we tell jokes and we have fun competitions and we do fun things. And play certain theme songs when we're doing certain techniques. Like, for instance, if you're doing a meat chain, which I'd have to show you a picture of, but it's when you take the salami and you kind of fold it in half and it kind of makes a row of, intertwined salami. It's hard to do on a podcast to show that.
It's okay.
But anyways,
pictures, I'm sure.
use your imaginations out there, folks.
Yeah. Check out the Instagram. Yeah.
Check the Instagram. There's definitely photos of it. We play chain, chain, chain.
Oh, I like that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Chain
Where are your classes held?
Well, it depends on where you'd like to have them held.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't have one location, but we do partner with different venues, or we've done libraries and country clubs and bars and other pizza places and other places where folks want to do them. So we do private classes or public classes. So if somebody wanted to hire us privately because they're family or their group of friends or whatever, even it's great for companies when they have employee appreciation or something like that. Team building.
Fun bachelorette party idea too.
That too.
Like, so many people don't want to do like the bar crawl thing.
Right.
They want to do something a little bit more intimate and kind of
this could
We
be a
have-
central
we have a
location.
package for that, but we'll talk about that.
Oh, sorry.
We got something about that. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned.
I
There's
should
more to
pay
come on that.
attention to the agenda.
So private classes like that, where it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun to learn the people who are in the room and just understand people's personalities and help them out if they're struggling with something, or say, why don't you put that there or this there, and they're like, oh, okay, looks good. And then the public classes, where we might work with another organization or a venue and say, we'll put public tickets out there, sell them as is, and strangers come together and make.
How big are your classes typically?
The smallest we've had is 4. It was
Okay.
gorgeous. We had 4 seniors.
Awesome.
They were lovely.
that.
I have never had a senior class before, but they were remarkable.
Love it.
And then sometimes they're up to, I think, 20, 25.
Perfect.
We're open.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Do you have a minimum though? I mean, because
Yeah,
obviously you got to
4.
get enough stuff to
Yeah,
do
I'd say
it. And,
4.
okay.
Like make it a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
After that, it's just come to the other class, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd say about 4 people. 4 or 5. But it's great for little house parties.
I was just gonna say, and you go like people
Yes.
love doing that kind of stuff. In
Yeah,
their
we'll
house.
come to your house.
Yeah?
We'll bring all the fixings and the fun, and have a night of it.
Awesome.
We love doing it. I do trivia sometimes.
Ooh.
Or,
Oh, nice.
I did a challenge. The last one we did in January was really funny. Kara, I'm sorry, I embarrass her a lot, probably. Okay, poor baby. She just, she's like, Kate, I can't believe. And so I passed a note to all the folks in the room, and I said, Kara does not know what this challenge is. I didn't tell her. She's like, you're going to do
Oh,
what?
wow.
And
This was not on the PowerPoint.
not on the PowerPoint.
No.
It was not in the business plan.
Okay.
It was not on the
Sure,
agenda.
sure. That's okay.
And I thought about it in the car on the way there. I'm like, wouldn't this be fun? And I passed a note to everyone in the crowd, and it said on there, get Kara to sing. Okay. I
I
would
would've-
say
I
the
would've
drop of
walked
a
out.
hat. I sang
I would've
you,
walked out.
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin just a moment ago. And everyone in the room's like, oh gosh, okay. So I'm playing music, and I purposely curated a playlist.
This was well planned.
Well planned.
Well planned.
Of songs I knew that she would sing to. Because in our kitchen, not a home kitchen, we have a rented kitchen. We'll just put the music on and just sing and dance while we make charcuterie. Because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
need
tell you
the
that,
energy.
that's probably a great social media tactic if you start recording. it.
Right?
Yeah,
That
behind
would
the
be fun.
scenes.
Behind the scenes of how we do it.
Right.
There is video because there's security cameras.
Well,
If you ever can't sleep at night. But anyways, so I started playing some songs. Doesn't that stinker get it on the first song? Yeah, she started singing. She started humming along and started singing. And now I'm like, oh, the Kara challenge has been met. So there'll have to be a new Kara challenge. Get this one to do something else.
I
But
love
to get her
that.
to sing is fun. I'll sing without being prompted, but that's how we do it. So yeah, the video camera. So we rent a kitchen in Clarence. I have to give a shout out to Stephen Development, Paul Stephen, who owns and operates and rents out the Clarence Creative Kitchen. I have to give Paul some shout
Yeah,
outs,
for sure.
if you don't
Yeah.
mind, because I'd be remiss if I did not. He's been wonderful to us. And I told Paul that if it's late at night and he can't sleep, to just pop on the security recordings.
Yeah.
And
Have
you'll
a good
probably
time.
have a good time.
Mhm.
And we waved him and everything. You're watching us do our dances, but we have a good time.
I love it.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to just order a board from you,
Yeah.
outside of the choices that they have,
Yeah.
how much lead time do you need to get that prepared for them and either delivered, or can they pick up from the kitchen?
Sure,
Or is
either
it kind
way.
of like,
Yeah.
okay,
So to answer the simple one first, yes, delivery or pickup. Delivery, Western New York, we're pretty, easygoing, but, let's reasonable.
Sure.
Delivery.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, for anything that's customized, so it's not on our website, it's not click and order, give us a week. Sometimes we have to order some things from Amazon or other
Sure.
places in order
Right.
to customize it and make it special. Putting the board together doesn't take much time. We do it fresh. So, it's in real time kind of stuff. But ordering anything and assembling special items might take a little time. So give us about a week or so, 5 to 7 days.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I saw it, and I don't know if you guys saw the Instagram, but you guys have these Father's Day boxes that were super cool. That I
Yes.
saw. That you had like some mini Bills helmets in. So
Oh,
like,
cool.
obviously you need a little bit of lead time to get that stuff from wherever you need to get
I have
it
a stock
from.
of many Bills helmets. Don't worry.
Well, of course, I mean, you live in Buffalo and you don't.
Hello. Yeah. So the Father's Day one was kind of on a whim. We're like, what are we gonna do for dads? Like we fluff up moms, and it's all like charcuterie's girly sometimes, right?
I think that's what drew me to that picture. Was like, I was like,
Yes.
oh wait.
Yeah,
For
there's something
dads,
for the
like, that's
guys
pretty
too.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did a couple Father's Day ones, and it's a cute box. It says Dad on it, so it's keepsake. If you want to put something else in it, because dads like to reuse things, right? And there's like beef jerky and other like cool just a little more rugged things in there, right? And we want to know about that dad. In the inquiry, when people order that, we purposely ask them, tell us about your dad. Tell us about the person you're giving this to. What does he love to do? What his hobbies? Favorite sports teams, or anything else that he gets involved in. And we want to make that special, so it's not just a random or generic type of Father's Day gift.
I have to ask. There was a hammer in one.
Yeah.
Was that edible or was
Yeah,
that a
yeah.
toy?
No.
Because from the picture, I was like, man, that looks edible. But
If I remember
not
correctly, it was
sure.
chocolate.
Either way, it's
Okay.
cool. Either way. What's like the craziest theme that you've been
Oh gosh.
requested?
Well, all right. So it's a little bit of a controversial one.
Oh, I love a good controversy.
So are you
Tell
ready?
me about it.
All right, I'll lean into the
Do I need to
microphone.
leave this room again?
No. It's actually well, it's fine. There is a group of people, myself included, that do celebrity death pools. Have you ever heard of celebrity death pool?
I don't know what that is.
I do not either.
Do we need
Okay.
to segue for a moment to understand what that means?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's
Okay.
take a sidebar.
So a celebrity death pool is when folks bet, frankly, on when a celebrity will pass away
Wow.
during a calendar year,
Okay.
and what their age is when they pass. So you get points. You take the number 100, subtract their age at time of death, and that's the number of points you get. Okay, it's you put money into the pool or whatever's decided upon by the admin,
Okay. Oh,
and
this is a very formalized
it's very
admin
formal
situation.
The admin.
Okay.
Okay.
Was there a PowerPoint?
Yeah.
No, there was no
Okay.
PowerPoint. There was no PowerPoint.
Maybe there should have been.
You just
I
gotta
kinda want
know,
one.
all right? If you
Yeah.
want to get in the club, you just have to know. There's
You
no
just have to
official.
know, yeah.
You get a special knock. You got to know. And at the end of the calendar year, the person who has the most points wins the pot. Okay, so you have to draft, similar to a fantasy sports draft.
I was gonna say this sounds very fantasy
Yeah.
football-y.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So you have to draft. So actually, it's coming up Saturday, by the way.
Oh.
The one that I'm in.
In case you want to show up.
No, it's invitation only. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, podcast.
I'm out
Invite
of
only.
here. I'm out of here.
And you draft, so you have to do your research.
Okay.
And you have to say, okay, which celebrities are, unhealthy? Maybe they have a terminal illness. It's kind of morbid. So if
Wow.
it's not your bag out there, podcast land,
This is you are.
I've
opening
never
a
heard
door.
of this.
So
I'm a
I know,
serial entrepreneur, so there could be a website
There's something
coming
going
with
on here.
statistics.
You have to do your research. It could be popular athletes.
Some sort of betting situation.
Yes.
You know, like
I'm gonna call FanDuel.
right.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know we're totally sidebarring, but so anyways, so you draft, and at that draft, it's a party. You get together and you have some drinks and some food. So we were asked to create a board for a celebrity death pool draft.
Oh wow.
What? Okay, now.
Yeah, now we need to
Okay.
know what's
Now
in
the
there.
door has been opened. We need to understand what does one put
Yeah.
on a
What is
that
board
theme
for this
First
theme.
of all, the board was shaped like a tombstone.
Okay.
Like
Start
that.
there.
It has to be.
That's
Obviously.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this I'm describing last year's because I'm making the one for this year. I haven't completely put it all together yet.
Okay.
But
Well, it's got to be a surprise too.
it's got to be a
We don't wanna
surprise.
give
Let's
anything
not,
away.
let's not. Okay.
Yeah.
So it had, and that at last year's draft was before the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Sure.
Okay. So we had a board shaped like a tombstone, and it had little stick figures of paparazzi hiding behind trees. Okay.
Okay.
It had the red carpet down the middle,
Okay.
and it had a dip at the bottom, which looked like a graveyard. It was like a kind of like a taco dip, actually, and it had like bones sticking out of it, and, like skeletons and things, and the little cups that we had that contained like olives or pickles or things like that was like they were from Halloween, and they had like blood on them and just ugly things, and lights, cameras, action was all over it, and we had money trees because celebrities, and the money was like lollipops with wrappers that looked like money, and little cupcakes. I mean, it was a variety of things. Again, no rules.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And so we brought it to the party, and people were like, we went on and look at us, and they loved it because it was on theme, right? And as they were eating, there was a surprise.
Oh.
Okay. As food left the board, it started to reveal. Ron, what do you think it said on that tombstone? Keep in mind, it said it was right before the Super Bowl. Whose tombstone was it?
Well, it's got to be Mahomes.
It was
I was
Mahomes.
gonna say.
Wow.
Okay. R.I.P. Patrick
Wow.
Mahomes. I'm sorry, Patrick, if you're listening. But you think he would? No. Anyways,
You
he's
never know.
I think
He's
they're
gonna
married.
try.
I think
Right
they're
now.
married, and they're not really worried about it anymore.
I don't think they can.
So we'd like to do little fun reveals and surprises on there, and but that was a hit, and that was the most wacky, outrageous. You never would have thought of it.
When I asked
theme.
that question, I really didn't know what the answer was going to
I
be,
know.
and that is for sure not something
I-
that would have come into my brain.
Correct.
That's wild.
Yes.
I have to say that anytime
Yes.
I see something like that fancy, I don't
Yeah.
want to touch it. I don't want to be the
I
first
know.
one to touch it.
Nope. Yeah.
Like, you go ahead, I'll wait, get some of that, and then I'll come in after you've ruined it already. So.
People are like you, Ron.
Sure.
Just trust me.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
I don't want
I
it to
know.
disturb the artistry and the creativity. Please dig in.
I will.
It's fine. It's
Do
what you're
your thing.
supposed to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, once the
It's
first
it's
person
cool
gets
for
in
the
there.
first couple moments when everyone's oohing and eyeing and isn't it great and look at that and da da da. Then just dig in.
I know.
And you get
'Cause that
photos
makes
of
us
it too,
happy.
right?
Oh yeah.
Take
So,
a picture and go.
You got
And
photos.
everyone,
Yes.
and everyone's like, hold on, I gotta get my picture.
Yep.
for
It's
social
like when you
media,
bring the
so-
cake out at the birthday.
Yeah,
yeah.
Everyone get a picture before we cut in and disturb it.
Yep.
So that's fine. But yeah, that was the most out of this world one
Huh.
that we were asked.
Yeah,
to
that's
do.
different.
Yeah, I, don't think, I think we can all agree we were not expecting it. to
Nope.
go
No,
down
not
that.
at all. And
I
still
love
trying
it.
to think about, is celebrity death pool, like, is that okay to talk about? Because it's
I'm
kind of
never
weird.
heard of it.
I'm sure you're not the only one doing it. There's
No,
probably
because clearly.
millions of people.
I
out
had-
there.
Now
Doing
I'm
it.
going to Google it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
look into
when
that.
I leave here.
Please
and-
don't, because then I'll go down that rabbit hole like I did the
Okay.
other
Yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah.
You like to
okay.
go down
No,
those
I,
rabbit
I
holes.
do. I
know.
get sucked in. So
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun to do stuff like that because one of our mottos again is everything is figure outable, and we kind of do that with our lives too. Like Kara and I, we're like, you know what, we say yes and then figure it out.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
might have seen notice celebrity death pool draft charcuterie board. And you're like, what do I do with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we just suppress that.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds good. We're on it.
Why not?
And then we freak out in the background. But we
Yeah.
did it. We made it work, and it was fun. And people were like, "Oh gosh." But that's the fun stuff we love to do. Love that kind of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
And we've done some other things too. I kind of had to think about, we do a lot of the typical stuff, and it's funny on our website I named it the typical,
Oh,
the regular, the typical.
Sure.
Because that's the
Yeah.
ordinary.
Yeah.
I could put
Yeah,
an
yeah.
ordinary on there, maybe a smaller one. I don't know. Of just follow the rules charcuterie,
Mhm.
right? But some of the other cool stuff that we've been we did a poker night one that was fun.
oh, that's cool.
So we had a poker night, and you don't want to like eat a meal if you're having people
Right,
over to
right.
play a card game or something. So you just want picky foods and
Right.
did that poker night theme. We did a Mardi Gras Sweet 16. That was fun too. So
That
that was
sounds
the
really
theme
fun.
for this
That is
this
fun.
little lady's 16th birthday. I mean, when we got there to the venue and the whole thing was decked out in this Mardi Gras theme. And Mardi Gras is coming up soon, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
Sometime
March.
Yeah.
soon?
Yeah.
It's a merch.
So if anyone's out there looking for that kind of thing, we're down. Hollywood Nights for a school dance. That was a theme.
Fun.
Oh, that sounds cool.
So
Man,
truth be
my
told,
schools never did.
yeah.
I know,
They never even
right?
got
I don't
like,
even think we
food
had
for
food,
us.
yeah.
Like-
Not like
There's
that.
also no theme.
No.
It was just
No.
like you are
Here's some
lucky you
balloons in
get
the
to go
school
to
colors.
the gym.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
might be like an
and
archway. to
never-
walk through,
Yeah.
We never even had an archway.
No.
No, there was no.
But that's cool stuff. Like and that was a repeat customer. I have to admit. Like she ordered from us before, and funny, the board that this particular customer ordered from us originally was a Taylor Swift board.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. So, and that one was another figure outable moment. Like, yes, we'll do it. How do I do this? But that one, we actually, Kara's husband, Bobby, I have to give him a shout out to. And Eric, my husband, because he's very supportive. If I don't mention the staff.
Sure.
We joke that they're the
I love
staff.
that the husband. I was just gonna say,
Trust me,
love
my husband helps me too, so I
Yeah.
get it.
My wife is not the staff.
you
Staff.
might
She-
not
she-
have a wife
she-
anymore
listen,
if you
no,
call
she-
it the staff.
She loves her, but she doesn't love her 9 to 5, but she does her 9 to 5, and then she's good.
Yeah.
And I started a business on my own, so it's on me to
course.
to do it, but she's not my staff.
I call my mother the Upstate Indie Weddings unpaid intern.
Yes.
I remember that.
And she has a sweatshirt.
She was at the bridal show last time.
She's at every bridal show.
Like, I've met her.
I stick her in a spot and I make her do some work.
She was
And-
sitting there with her girlfriends.
Yeah, Marge.
March.
Marge. I give them some wine and then they're fine.
Oh, they were just
happy.
sitting there.
Oh,
They
they're
were
paid.
happy as clams.
So they're,
over there.
they're paid.
They're paid.
They're paid
Yes.
in Pinot Grigio.
If that's their currency.
Honestly, I would take
It's
that.
okay.
Cheap labor. I love it. What did you do for Taylor Swift?
Okay, so Bobby, Kara's husband, is very crafty with wood,
Okay.
which is helpful with a charcuterie business.
Sure.
He made a literal guitar. Okay, so the guitar was guitar size,
Mm-hmm.
regular size, wooden board, painted the thing pink. Okay, like Taylor, and we had on there, on the, I'm going to use technical terms, fret. Is that the right word? The part where you put your fingers on a guitar. You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
I'm not the right
I don't know the
person.
I'm
name
not
of
the
it, but I
right
know
person
what
either.
part
I know
you're
what,
talking
yeah.
about.
We
The
know
long
Yeah.
part of
Yes.
the, okay.
I don't know the
We
name
had
of it.
beautiful skewers with macaroni bow ties. Who would put macaroni and cheese on?
That's
Very
cool.
important. We
Why
did.
not?
Fun. I love that.
But it was macaroni bow ties with some olives and some cheese, all around on the length of it. And then the main part of the guitar had a stand-up Taylor and had her microphone and piano and all of Taylor Swift's favorite things. Like she has a favorite candy. Apparently, I forgot the name of it, but it's some like sweet and sour candy, whatever. We had to do the research. She's a favorite candy. Her favorite number's 13, so we had cut out cheese 13s, and she's into cats and butterflies, so the fruit and the cheese were all cut out in those shapes.
That's so
we
fun.
had Travis's number on there too. The old 87 had to make an appearance. And it was for like an 11-year-old's birthday, so we had some kid type, level foods on there. But when we walked in with that, this kid was jumping up and down in her kitchen like crazy when we delivered it. So that was a real, outrageous, sure, not as wacky as the celebrity thumbnail, but we were very proud of that one because the lady expected it to be probably on a square rectangle,
yeah.
and off you go, and here's your meat and cheese and fruit and stuff. And we showed up,
Love it.
so that was a lot of fun. What else did we do? We did over the holidays. Gosh, the holidays were really big for us. We don't know. We're just a year, so we're trying to figure out what's our season, what's our time of year, and it seems like the winter holidays were it. So we did like a Grinchmas, really cool Grinchmas dessert board. So much fun with all the green candies and everything. Didn't have a stitch of cheese or meat on it. Who cares?
Who cares?
the holidays.
No rules.
None of the
Again,
calories count during
the calories do not
holidays,
count during the holidays. One of my favorite ones was the Star Wars May the 4th Be With You board, which has a real Death Star on it, by the way.
Wow.
And it has light up lightsabers that cross red and the blue. My husband is a huge Star Wars fan, so I had to tap into the research from him. He's like, now don't put this one on, and don't put that one by that one, that character, because they don't get along. And like he's telling me, he's like, now I go, which ones are the good guys and which ones aren't, so I don't put them next to each other, and that I have separate sides of the board. And he's like, and the Death Star should go in the middle. He was the consult.
I like that.
So staff helps.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was fun, and there are some May the 4th fans out there. There are plenty of them.
Mhm.
So that was so much fun. What else? Girls' weekends on a boat. We've gotten
Heck
called up
yeah.
for that. Yeah, I mean
That
we've
sounds
gotten a
like
lot
a
of girls'
blast.
weekends, girls getaways and that kind of stuff where they're just like, we just want some cool things to eat, and I'm like, well, you got to tell me your theme, kids, because we got to make it special, and sure enough they do. One of my cool ones is the rainbow unicorn. That is my daughter's favorite because it's like a unicorn and it's a rainbow, and every 9-year-old in the world apparently.
Of course.
But that one's really neat, and we're kind of going to use that as an inspiration for an upcoming class we have over the summer. And the Cinco de Mayo tequila board.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Okay, so it's on a special board that has tequila kind of etched in it, and not only does it have like a beautiful guacamole dip and some, other like jalapeno cheeses and other things that would go with tequila. It has some of the fixings on it too. So it's a little combo. Now, we, Board to Be Wild, can't sell alcohol, but I know who can. Okay. So, just saying, we could, easily make it a full board of special tequila things.
So just a tip, you could also leave the space on there for the mini bottles.
Just saying.
And you could also have the client supply the mini bottles when you get there. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
It's figure outable, Ron.
Yes,
Everything
all is.
Everything is figure outable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those are just a few of my favorites that I pulled out of our
Are they on your
repertoire.
Instagram? Because I'm dying
They
to look
are
at
on
them.
Insta.
I want to see them.
They are on Insta. If not, you can find them in the Gallery of Inspiration.
Okay.
I love that.
You can find them otherwise.
I love the thing we talk about a lot, and I think we've said it in every single episode, is that like weddings and everything wedding related is so different than it had been before, and everyone is really taking it and making it their own. And I think it's so cool that you have all these different options for themes, and even if someone comes ahead and they're like, I definitely want charcuterie, now you have an entire world that you can walk through and really make it your own. And if it's a bachelorette party or a bridal shower, you can then get into some sort of thematic board that is charcuterie but doesn't look like everyone else's charcuterie.
That's right.
That's really cool.
And whether it's a board or a graze table, that's a phrase that is starting to become really, really popular. If you don't know what it is, it's it's a table of food. Like, frankly,
my heaven is what
it's amazing.
Like that's what I did for my baby
pretty.
shower. I just sat down at a table of deliciousness.
We put it right on the table. Now we're sanitary. Put some,
of course,
yes.
Put some, paper down and what have you, and we could do them flat. Where the food is artistically arranged, themed or not, whichever your choice is, on like a kitchen island or a table in your house or at your party or venue, what have you. Or we could do it with some risers, so it looks a little bit more along the lines of catering, because we have our catering license, we're permitted to do that. And so there's things that are beautifully draped with grapes or other, things that just make it look more visually appealing because there's some dimension to it. And I see that's very popular at larger special events because you want it that way. House parties, we see the graze tables where it's flat. You kind of just, go in the kitchen, help yourself during the party. But, one of the things I'm going to kind of segue a little bit is, because it reminded me, is doing our mobile charcuterie. So this is something we do seasonally, usually. We can take it on the go.
Ooh.
So if you have a party in your backyard or another place and you don't want to set up where people just help themselves, we can offer our services, Kara and I as charcuterie artists, to do a build your own. So we have this, large display with containers that we put all the ingredients in, and people can come up with their board and say, I'd like this, and this, and we build it for them on the spot.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
cool.
So
Okay.
cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, so you can hire us, for a couple hours at a time, or charge per board, whatever, we work out. But we've seen that's popular for